book publishing was always really economically marginal. People would work long hours for not a whole lot of money, but there were other rewards in it. But the developments in the last couple of decades have really made it economically impractical. It's just not feasible anymore to make a go of it. At least as a medium-sized publisher, it's not practical anymore. And we see this happening all over the marketplace. Bookstores are going out of business. Book wholesalers are going out of business. Bookstore chains are going out of business. Printers are going out of business. Paper mills are shutting down. The whole industry really is contracting. Newspapers are going out of business. Magazines are going out of business. So the economic viability that was at one point possibly marginal simply isn't there anymore.
What's the main claim here today?
The main claim is we're closing down after 30 years of business, something like that, and there's a lot of here, like office stuff, old technology. It's like half estate sale too. We have like art and furniture, and we're just downsizing so much. There's all kinds of stuff that has to go in like the next few weeks. So you can see we've been trashing it out. That dumpster's already really full. We're probably gonna have to get another one anyway. And I figured I'd just hit you guys up to see what kind of gold you might uncover. I'm sure there's some fun stuff, you know, a little bit of scrap, all kinds of things. So
there he is.
Good.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Is this the head honcho?
Yeah, nice wreath.
What's up, man? How are you?
It's been about 25 years.
Yeah, close to it, right?
Yeah.
How are you?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Can't complain.
The end of an era.
Yes, it is. Yeah, 71 years. Yeah.
And what, maybe 40 years at this location?
I've been here 40 years. It was at this location for some years before that, so call it maybe 48 years at this location, something like that. Yeah, so.
One chapter closes, a new one opens?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
That's fitting for a book company, huh?
Yes.
That's what I was thinking,
The
right?
hair blowing in the wind.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Well, we'll definitely have to get into the history of things a little bit. We can go up and do an interview probably in one of the offices, show you some of the memorabilia, because it really is like sort of a changing industry, right? Like when we were kids and we were at Camberton, like we do mail order catalogs, and you know, we'd send out 50,000 catalogs and people would really buy that shit. And then along came Amazon, and it just completely changed how everyone does business. The printing side of things has really changed a lot in the last few decades. Printing companies are dropping like flies, so there's definitely a lot of stuff to go over, like in talking about all that.
Yeah.
We were thinking of maybe a little segment on the history of the company and the changes to the industry. So we'll come up to your office for that.
The good stuff.
Okay. All right, let me know if you need me for anything.
Yep.
Thanks.
Yep.
All right, what's up, everyone? Here we are, another beautiful day in paradise, as you can see. Sun is shining here in Pennsylvania. We're in Chester Springs, Pennsylvania, at our good friend Duncan's publishing company. Him and his dad have been running it for a long time. And as I said, they're closing down shop here in this location. And we came to get the history of the company and what's going on here, and then we're going to show all the items that are actually going to be offered up for sale. So if anyone lives near Chester Springs, Pottstown, Phoenixville area, Pennsylvania, this stuff will be available to buy. So
yeah, let's just say Philly, Jersey, Delaware.
Anywhere.
Some of this stuff might be worth driving a little ways to pick up, because as new it would be pretty expensive, and we have it. Some of the more like mass mail order equipment.
So did you start first grade with my brother?
Yeah, I started first grade with Hob.
So yeah, Duncan I've known before I even have memories, I guess, because my brother's 5 years older than me, and he went to first grade with Duncan. So we're lifelong friends from childhood, and we thought that this would be a really cool segment and video for you all to share with everyone, and it fits right in with what we love to do. Old books, collectibles, antiques. House from what year?
We think it's probably like the early 1800s, so it's probably like 220 years old. And we're not going to say she was even that well built then, but she's still standing.
Is she leading a little?
Yeah.
Just a little.
This guy's bringing out stuff right now.
Yeah.
Is there any gold for the picking out of the dumpster, or it's all trash?
It's pretty much all trash. I mean, we can go look. We might as well check it out.
Is it books or just like?
It's documents. There's some books.
So it's
There's some books in there, but we already did sort of the data on what we want to keep and try to sell.
AJ Blazinski.
AJ Blazinski, that's
He
right.
runs the dumpsters around here.
Dude, the Chester County dumpster game, that's the guy. And of course, we got to tarp it, because with paper products, it's just going to get so much more heavy and expensive.
So it's done. You got room in here though.
Yeah, we got a little room.
But you're gonna go over the weight limit regardless.
Oh, well over.
Like triple what they want.
Yeah. Well, paper is so heavy, it's freight class 65, which means the lower that number is, the more dense the shit. So, too bad it's not gold bars in there. Then I'm sure you'd really help us be clearing out.
I mean, who knows? To someone it might be.
To some, that's true. Got?
Yeah,
All right, show us what you got going on, big dog.
Yeah, these doors are a little, well, it's all old, right? It's all 200 years old, so we'll have to do like the creepy haunted basement at some point. I gotta hold this open.
Oh man, it's cool in here already. It smells like
Yeah.
books. Doesn't smell moldy at all.
Well, that's good.
It is
Yeah.
though.
Not really. No. We run dehumidifier in the summer and all this.
That makes sense.
And this room, all the books in here they got damaged or somehow fucked up, so we can't sell them wholesale to Amazon or anything like that anymore. But we have an Amazon seller account, and we have seller accounts on different websites, so we'll list these on those, and it's just a little extra money on the side, besides selling stuff new.
Yeah.
So we've been clearing out this room. Even a week ago, there were twice as many books in here. Yeah, some of this is going into a storage unit. Some of it's continually being sold off. I pulled, I don't know, maybe 8 books out of here this morning. So there's still stuff moving out. And then,
E-commerce style.
Yeah. And then anything...
Shipping on these books is easy though, right?
Media mail.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which is
so
great.
much cheaper.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, we do that when we can.
Yep. Even library mail, if it qualifies, if it's a university professor or something, it's even cheaper than media mail by 15 cents per parcel or something.
Is that an option on there?
Not for us. We
Not
never
for
sold
us.
to any university professors.
No, we haven't.
Yeah.
Not that I know of.
Because it's kind of neat. Everything in this room that we're not throwing out is worth more than $5, and we haven't sold a copy in over 18 months. So that's sort of the standard for what stays, what goes to the dumpster. So if it's in the dumpster, it's really, you're welcome to pick it, right?
It's something
but
you've been sitting on.
we've already
And it's worth
looked
less
at
than
it.
$5.
Yeah, pretty
so
much.
it's not worth it for you to keep it.
So it's
Right.
recycling.
At least
Right.
you can let go. Does it
What-
hurt to let go a little bit?
It always does.
It always does. Yeah.
Especially like some of the shit where like downsizing, like family style, right?
Yeah.
To go from like having this whole compound to like not so many properties, not so much room anymore. Really got to sort through some shit.
Yeah. I hear you.
But it's just shit. It's just stuff.
It's just stuff.
Next room, I guess.
Next room.
What about this hutch? Is this thing for sale by any chance?
I think my pops wants to hang on to it, but we're not sure where to put it. So it might be worth like just getting a quick shot of. And then when we talk with my pops, we can see what he wants to do. It's so big, right? You really need a ceiling to put it anywhere. It's antique. I don't really know it's vintage or anything, but we've spoken about it with my uncle, that same guy who you contacted for the art, and he's like,
it's
definitely old and dusty.
It could be
nice, though,
really
if you
nice in like a kitchen though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If someone was into that.
if someone was into it. This room's pretty brutal. We have the ceiling falling down. So we fixed the leak over the course of the summer. We just put some rolled roofing on and a little pitch, and the leaking stopped. But the ceiling, we were like,
It's coming down.
It's coming down, boys.
yeah. I put the duct tape up so it really doesn't fall.
Oh my god.
Right though.
Over here is some stuff I can just give you guys if you want it, otherwise we'll probably chuck it. We have some fishing lines, a box of tackle, which some of it's kind of old, but so this is just shit I'm gonna throw out. And there's more on the flip side of it if you reseal it. And so that's all stuff I'm keeping back a damaged copy of it. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's your personal collection right there.
Good
Yeah.
books.
Now this room has some kind of neat stuff. Once that light warms up, it'll be a little better. These are all books that mostly came to us by mistake or whatever, and same deal. We're just selling them off, that shelf over there, and these are hardcover books that we're selling as an internet seller because they're too damaged or whatever. We found it in the attic. It came with this house. It's a collection of newspapers from the early 20th century, so 1904 to 1914.
Newton Cole.
That's something I don't know if it has much value. Some of them are pretty grody.
What's the year?
All different. Let's get these off the top and get down to some of the nicer ones. And
1914.
Oh my gosh.
So 100 years old over.
yeah,
I mean, that guy is so 1914. Look at his mustache. He's got the wisp.
He does though.
The wisp, pop.
the craziest thing about these are probably the advertisements.
That's what I wanted to look at.
And the
'cause
fact
it's
that you
so-
could buy this table for $8.
I mean, the
with the
piano's
claw legs.
$285. Pianos are over $1,000 now. Unless someone's really trying to get rid of it.
Well,
Deluxe leathers.
most people are trying to get rid of
Look
pianos
at
at this
this.
rate though. Right though? 'Cause
Right.
they're such a brutal thing to deal with.
Just to have them tuned every year, and yeah. So this has a little water damage. They were in the attic, but we took them down. I figured they were kind of cool, and maybe somebody wants them.
Now
Oh, look,
this is
color.
sick. This reminds me of
1914.
water paint. That actually looks like it was painted with water paint.
Summertime frills for the
Wait.
Southern Sun Jaw.
No, they just did that, right?
Alright, so we got a comic here from 1914. Pretty cool. Really cool.
Isn't you afraid? Oh, Miss Molly, isn't you afraid?
You got arrested for speeding? Oh my gosh.
They said like afraid, like FRAID.
Oh, check this out.
Isn't you afraid?
Philadelphia Record Sunday Magazine. This one's from 1913.
See, even the way that they did that color looks cool.
Janice Miller. Omega Oil.
It looks like mine. Who was that?
This person?
Yeah. I thought it was Einstein from Upside Down.
This lady?
It looked like him.
Dude.
It did, though.
It did, though.
That's...
This is some wild. They didn't have very many photographs in these. It was just all drawings, huh?
Yeah.
Is that due to the cost of taking the pictures, maybe?
What's this?
There. Wow. That's a land deal.
$787.50.
It's almost 6 acres.
We're living in the wrong time period.
Yeah.
For real.
But to have $700 back then was like...
How much would 5 acres be now, though?
It depends.
Like, anyone wants to just make an offer on it.
Because
I
people
don't-
like to frame this type of stuff.
I don't know that any of it has any like particular historic value to like any events. But it's something we're definitely looking to move on. So that's... Oh, here's some more funnies. That's a really nice broadsheet right there. That's like completely...
That's a cover sheet there.
That's like completely intact, and a lot of...
That's frameable.
Look. And then she smacks his hat off. Nice little boy. We will talk things over quietly.
You're on.
This
kiddo.
is you, Sam. Laughing after you did it.
Only low brows. And animals want revenge.
What about the owl?
Low brow.
The owl can go. The top is a little ragged, but that was an estate sale pickup of our own from however long ago. Here, I'll take it down.
Looks like sissy.
I think like some of the feathers are falling off it, so
The top of the head looks a little...
that might be
Is
one to
that heavy?
chuck. But no, it's not heavy. It's
I don't think that's a trash
That
piece.
is not a
That's
trash piece.
not a trash
You should
piece.
keep
you can
that.
fix it.
You don't need to fix it. Put a hat on.
No, I'm saying, oh, like a little top hat,
A little
little
top
top
hat.
and like a
For
little
real.
like a monocle.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, a monocle and a top hat. A mini
Yeah.
top hat.
Well, he can go if
Someone's interested, right?
Yeah. A little bit dusty, but
Just a little. Nothing a little feather duster can't handle.
yeah. Well, there you go.
One of those.
I think these are worth a little bit of money. This is Mobo. It's a children's sort of riding toy from, I don't know, probably the early 20th century. I looked this thing up a few years ago, and I don't know. Some of them, depending on the condition, might be worth a couple $100.
It's metal though, and it's made in England.
Yeah.
Made in England?
Yeah, and it's a little bent, you can tell, but
Yeah, this is bent right here. This is the one that's...
the actual guy, like the horse,
Perfect.
is intact. So for someone who wanted to collect these, they'd probably have a new frame. Do you know what I mean? A different frame anyway.
Yeah, and I think it's missing the grip that would be right here.
Yeah.
But regardless of all that, the horse itself is in pretty good shape, and I think those are worth a few bucks. So that's one. And then this is all darkroom equipment and old camera equipment, which we're also, we've kind of hung on to it and haven't thrown it out, thinking in the thought that someone might have some value out of it. This is a color enlarger. If we can find a plug under here, it does turn on and light up. Beyond that, it hasn't been used in a few years, so I can't really speak to
This is the on switch, maybe?
Oh, maybe. Yeah. It's right in front of me.
Oh, it is going on.
Yeah, so you see the light.
Yeah.
You see it light up.
But does this stuff go with that, or it's kind of...
I mean, it's sort of a lot.
But
right?
this is like...
And that's all, those are actually, there's some old cameras, and there's like a Walkman in there, and there's some Buster Brown cameras in that from like the early 20th century.
The Blumberger. What is this, a bulb? That
Yeah,
goes on top of one of those like big cameras, huh?
It's like an old flash or something. These are fully old cameras. Buster Brown box cameras. They're so old, I have no idea how they even use these things.
No, me neither.
They're
I had a couple before too myself,
Yeah.
and I just kind of didn't know anything about them. This one looks pretty cool. The Argus. The Argo Flex. There's an old license plate. It's probably worth at least 25, probably.
Yeah, alright.
Someone might want that.
Someone might want it. Books.
More books,
More
books.
Yeah, so this is like... There's paper here. There's some film, expired film, which I know some people like to shoot with. I can't really speak to how well these chemicals age, but they're there. The thing is, before like personal computers and everything, we would do all our catalog production in-house. So if we wanted to make like a mailing, we'd do it here, and having a dark room was really important to doing that because you could do all your design without shipping it off. And so up until maybe like 1995, when it really became like easy to do all this stuff on a PC, it was all done manually, and this was the darkroom equipment we used to do that. So it's all here.
So this was part of the company at one point.
This was
It wasn't just a hoard.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Exactly. And anything that's like obviously dated, we can just throw out. I'm not gonna know what that is, but if anyone's interested in that stuff, they can definitely say like, I want this or that, and not this or that.
I mean, made in the USA in Newark, New Jersey. Newark. So that's pretty cool. 'Cause you don't get that quality anymore.
Yeah.
This thing, whatever. I mean, what does this even do?
I was wondering that myself.
It's it's definitely to like, I don't know, like some kind of emulsion setup. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't have the red lights on it, and like, I know in a dark room you use these red lights for stuff.
Even just this door right here is really cool, though.
These mantles, we're pretty sure are chestnut, American chestnut, which is going extinct. And those sorts of mantles have a lot of value to people who are doing period restorations because you can't really get that tree or that wood anymore. And they're already so well wrought. It's not like a board. There's the whole mantle. So that's not something I can really sell, but when the guy who bought this place takes over, he might be interested in getting them out of here. And they definitely have, some value. So I can get everyone in touch.
How old do you think this is? The old as the house,
As
probably,
old
right?
as the house. So probably like 1805, 1810, something like that. While we're like going on the house and the age and talking about how things change, we redid this room in the 90s, and then we pulled out the old wallpaper and found this. It's a little hard to read, but it says paper and something. It has the date April 24th, 1933, clear and cool. They're basically saying it cost $3.50 at the time to do this whole room.
That is so crazy.
I can't even believe that's real.
How much would it cost now?
Oh,
What do you guys think?
like thousands, a couple thousand. I don't know.
That's wild, right? $3. You can't even get a cup of coffee with that.
At Wawa.
Wawa, you can.
Fire extinguishers.
But you know Wawa coffee.
People don't really collect these, do they? That might just be scrap.
It depends, though. I'm not really sure. Because, like, where are you going to get that again?
Right.
I think
That's an old
I've sold a couple before.
He made a piece of art.
I made a piece of art out of one, too, but,
What's behind door number 1? Some spooky, dusty shit, bro. Woo!
is it really, though, or nah?
A little.
Flat screen box.
This room is kind of creepy.
Hence why you guys don't hang out in here.
Yeah, this is all like storage. This is a good way to like centerpiece another one of these mantles, I guess, because you can kind of get the full thing in the shot. This is all trash here. So that's like, that might be a little easier to get an angle on.
Not for sure. I can get the whole thing here. Maybe even just move this real quick. What is that, the Coliseum? That picture?
Oh no, it's just a frame. That's what came with it. We think this room might have been like the domestic quarters when the house was originally built, because it has a large fireplace. This fireplace over here, actually we said as old as the house. I'm not so sure, because when we go in the basement, you'll see the original like coal chute to the basement was like behind here. So I don't know if they were putting the original, like putting the coal down where that fireplace was, now that I think about it. But we think this room was probably the original like kitchen and sort of domestic quarters. And now it's just like trash, like storage. We're gonna have to sort through those books and...
The old Sherwood. Does that thing work?
I believe this does. This is one of the first CD players they ever made. This was my mom's. The speakers themselves are blown out, so too bad.
And how are these books here?
Those were mostly my dad's, so we're gonna have to just pick out anything that might be worth something.
And this is all books too back here.
More books.
Obviously, right?
So many books.
iRobot. Is that like what the movie's based off of or no?
Yeah, I think that's Isaac Asimov.
So that was like the Will Smith movie?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Big time. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep. Let's see. Let's check it out. 8/2/63. Long out of print and in great demand. So this is a reprint. It's in good condition. 1963. Doubleday and Company.
Remember the Will Smith movie?
Which one?
iRobot?
Yes.
That's the book.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
okay.
you have a little dust there. I don't know if it's going to be. The history of this building that we know for sure is that it was a telephone exchange, and it was the first telephone exchange in the area. At some point, there was a furniture maker who lived in here and like had it as sort of his shop and like workspace. So that covers like the the late 19th century to today, like the telephone exchange and then the furniture guy and then us. But the first like 50 to 60 years, we have no idea what was really going on in here. And a lot of the historical books don't really say, which is kind of weird. They used to have like switchboards, and they'd have like telephone operators like sitting in front of these like big machines, like literally like pulling giant switches on a box. So like
You've seen that.
one person on the landline could connect to the other, because all that shit was wired and there weren't automated switches. So you used to have someone in this building like, at this machine, like, okay, Gary up the street is calling John down the street, and we need to connect the wires together so that call can go through. And that's what happened here. That have sold for like $1,000, $2,000. Most of them are gone. And a lot of the valuable titles we'll just put in with the rest of them because we know what they are, and it would be hard for like anyone to just swipe something really valuable if it's mixed in with the rest of the shit, because how would they ever know?
Hidden in plain sight.
Hidden in plain sight. Some of the books on this shelf, just by the virtue of their age, do have a little more value, but like not necessarily. And most of these date to about the mid-20th century. I don't know if I should go on to this or it's talking too much, but like an interesting thing about books, actually this is really topical for your channel now that I think about it. A lot of people have books from like 1850 to 1910. And this was the Victorian era. They're really like beautiful books. They're gilded, they're hardcover, they're leather. Here's the thing. This is about the same era that mass culture started to exist. But people didn't have the radio. People like didn't really have record players. That was a very new technology. There wasn't TV. So what did people do for entertainment? They read. And because so many people read, print runs were huge. So a famous author in like 1890 might have had a new book that they printed 100,000 copies of. So people will come and say, oh, you know, I have this old book. It might be worth something just because it's old. And actually, no, it's not that really rare because they printed 100,000 copies and a lot of people have hung on to them thinking, oh, maybe it's worth something. That's not to say, like, every book from that era is worthless, but, like, it's kind of interesting to note, like, print runs back then were in many cases larger or even similar to what they are today. And so a lot of, like, Victorian-era books are worth less than you might think when you find that box, like, in your grandfather's attic. You know, for our parents and their parents, like, Oriental carpets were, like, you know, the peak of luxury, and now you can't even, like, give those fucking things away. They're like,
I love those things, though.
We love Oriental
They're
rugs,
beautiful,
though. They are, though.
Up those stairs in a week, but
That's perfect. This is cool up here. You stay up here?
yeah, this is kind of my quarters.
This is big up here.
Yeah.
This is like bigger than our house. There's the upstairs. I kind of like the floors though, how they're like the paint's chipped.
And look at these doorways. They're like a trapezoid.
This door's
They're so angled.
sick though. It is angled.
Oh
And
yeah.
the doorknobs, this is old. You need like a skeleton key.
This floor is
Do you
redone
have
now,
the
huh?
skeleton key for that or no?
No, but we do have like rusted up like these things down in the basement.
Oh,
So
and
if-
it locks it from the inside?
Yeah. Is that TV? I think it's a 50. I don't even know the size. It's not a smart TV. I'm done with it. That's really the only thing in here that would go. This is this might be like a early 20th century like painting of Puerto Rico.
This is sick. Wait, this is...
I'm not really sure where that was. And this is a map of Puerto Rico that
Oh, that's cool.
I'll pass off to y'all if you're interested.
Yeah, we'll get these. These are nice.
Absolutely.
That's a really epic shot right there.
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, just picture.
Yeah, so these I'll just give to yous.
Safe harbor.
Let's take a look. It's something I could probably part with anyway. 1, 2, 4 Rock Point.
Temple Stewart. Yeah. So I don't really know, but there's all kinds of like a book that I have that tells all the different styles.
All right.
So you could
Yeah,
you could look it up, or someone definitely watching knows what it is.
Yeah. Well, that's one we could maybe part with if anyone would be interested. This is the tub Sammy's talking about.
Wow, the tub
Yeah,
with the claw feet.
with the claw feet.
That thing came equipped.
That's like my dream tub. But our
We
house
wouldn't
would
be able
never
to fit
big
that
enough.
over the living
You'd have
room.
to stick it in the
So
spare bedroom.
heavy, so huge.
Oh my gosh. How'd they even get it up here?
I'd be worried that like it would fall through the floor
Yeah.
if I took a real like bath in that thing.
And, like,
Oh
we're
my
just-
gosh, I've seen stuff
with the
like that
water,
before.
yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be crazy.
Like in abandoned houses mainly, but
You can go. It's.
This can go?
I think so. I mean, if someone makes a good offer for it, I'll entertain it at least. It's done by a guy named Tom Bustel, who was local to this area. He passed away maybe 15 years ago, and this might have been worth more when he was alive, which is kind of a shitty thing to
that's
say.
weird.
But yeah,
Usually it's worth more when they're...
when they're right. This is a painting of his daughter, who was named Boo.
Ew.
And for whatever weird reason, he shot it with a shotgun. I wouldn't shoot a painting of my daughter with a shotgun. I'll tell you that.
Wait, what?
But
That's really what that's from?
that's what those marks are. Yeah.
How do you know that?
because it's the buckshot, I guess.
That's
Yeah.
really, really strange.
And this is called Illustration for a Child's Boo for the Window. Here's the card speaking to the title of this painting. So,
This is actually a really good piece.
Yeah, I wouldn't take less than what you want for it. Boo. That's an interesting name for a kid.
Boo Radley.
Boo Radley.
all right, here we go.
No light up here.
Oh, there's a light.
Oh, nice. Is this where you usually like to sleep?
Yeah, this is where I hang out all day.
Watch out for how thin the steps are, though.
How low the ceiling is. So there's not really anything up here that I think would be worthwhile to you. There is
That's up for debate, though, right?
well, right. So I figured I'd just show it.
Why is it so small?
Well, they were a lot shorter. They were a lot shorter when this got built. Really watch your head because you don't want to get
This
stuck
is
on
actually a
nails
pretty
or anything.
decent box here.
Yeah.
Not that it's worth a lot of money, but someone might be into it. What's in here?
No idea. Here, let's get a little more light.
Like plaster?
I don't know.
I don't know. That could be like just asbestos dust.
Right.
Let's see in here.
Pottery.
Handmade, though, huh?
Yeah.
From New Mexico.
Yeah, I don't know. That might have been this lady's. These are all film strips. See, there's a whole like neatly organized.
Library of Congress.
Oh God.
That
So
might not
dirty.
be Keep Life, right?
Well, I don't know. The film strips themselves, maybe. There's a nicer like box of these out in the back building. Like Tonga is a country.
No, there's a lot in
Oh
here.
shit.
These might be worth some money, though.
Yeah.
To the right person.
Our Lord's Ministry film strip. They're each gonna have their own title.
What if you found like a picture of like Billy the Kid in here? Then you'd be sitting on a gold mine.
For
People that don't
real.
have like only have been photographed one or two times. Do you get what I'm saying?
And we have those photographs.
Somehow New Testament sites. Who knows? Who knows? You never know. Our Lord's Passion and Resurrection. You could have something worth more than, you could make in a year in here. You just don't know.
You just don't know.
And you may never know.
May never
Because
know.
look at it's just peeling apart.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happens to it, isn't it?
Well, it's new enough to have plastic wrapped, right? So.
What's in that container?
Oh, that's just like a dress.
That is so creepy
Like
looking, isn't it?
It's terrible.
It looks like there's a person
The
in
roof
there.
looks new though.
Yeah, we had that done sometime in the last 20 years.
So what's in there?
Nothing, I don't think.
Just
It would
empty,
just be like a rack for storing clothing.
but no clothing.
No clothing. Now over here,
There's some heavy vibes up here.
Yeah, that rack is freaking me out. I gotta get out of here.
Get out of here. Are you getting out of here?
I definitely hear like strange noises coming around from up here. I never really investigate.
No,
I
that
wouldn't.
rack is
I
freaking
wouldn't
me out.
either.
I don't know. Some of this furniture might be kind of. It's like a children's chair.
It actually looks really old.
Yeah.
What else is back there? You never went deep in there?
Let's see. There's this chair, which would need reupholster. This rocking chair.
Couple chairs. Like doll chairs and stuff.
Yeah. A lot of this. His squirrel got to this thing, so I think that's pretty much become junk. But that's like baby stuff.
This guy?
Oh my god, that's kind of creepy, huh?
Super
It's actually
creepy.
kind of cool though.
People buy that.
Oh yeah, for sure. What does it say? Reliance. Made in Taiwan. That's pretty cool. I might... Because like that could be worth a few bucks.
Oh yeah, it's copper, huh?
Just for scrap even, but someone might want that. And then what is in here?
Oh, there's some Beanie Babies in there.
This is an old book.
Let's see, the Oxford Book of English Verse.
Like that attic stuff. Is there a basement?
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you like that attic stuff?
Oh, well, if you thought the attic was a little creepy, let's wait for this descent to the basement, because there's like this weird like tunnel down there, and it's kind of, I don't want to say moist, but it's kind of damp and really creepy. I always thought if something were haunted in here, it would probably be in the basement.
I could see that.
But that attic is pretty gnarly in its
The
own
attic's
way.
a little bit gnarly.
Yeah.
Shall we go in the basement?
Let's go. Let's do it.
All right.
This would be the day to wear it, like, of them all.
Yeah.
This guy has got this crazy basement in
Crazy
here.
basement.
Down in the deep
Why?
dark basement, guys.
Do you want to go
smell
first?
this? This smell is like
It's
just old.
It smells old, but not like mold, which is very surprising because of how old this place is.
Yeah.
Like,
There
I'm really
isn't much.
sensitive to
You're
mold
so
and
true. There isn't much black mold in
Because I would
this
have
house.
left if I got, because I'm really allergic to dust. But like,
Oh, we'll wait for the back building because that's really fucking dusty, but not really moldy.
Couple tools from the 14th century.
it doesn't smell like mold.
Is that a sled?
Yeah, that's a aluminum flying saucer.
That's
This is like the-
those are like the old school ones.
This is like the thing that the Grim Reaper carries, right?
Yeah, scythe blade. Yep.
And there's the other piece to it.
Yep. This is
See
stuff
that
if
down
someone's really interested in. There's like that crazy pitchfork, and
That's what they'd go after witches with.
Or like this thing, right? These little pulleys.
the block and tackle. Yep, that can go.
Someone might want that.
There are some passage sets. You were talking about the doorknobs.
Yeah.
I mean, you need to take a wire brush to them and kind of clean them up. But
This is a welding torch though. And these things are actually very hard to get. That old. I mean, I don't know if it works still or whatever, but I'm sure somebody would want it. This right here. If this is here when you leave, you should take that.
Yeah.
okay.
Because that's gas weld. I don't know. I guess that might be the brand. Yeah.
Gas weld. Like
But this is all either brass or copper. You can underneath there.
Cool.
And there's no reason why it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
Those are highly sought after, and they're really expensive to buy now.
What is it?
Gas weld
W-E-L-D?
torch. Vintage gas weld torch. Yeah. What do we got back here?
Oh, and something, I don't know if it's worth much. Do people like old glass?
I don't know.
Okay, well, that's all like old window panes and old.
Windows.
If you can, yeah.
This, I can see this fine.
So all of this would be like a century old. I think all the stuff that's still in the frame is this pile, and then everything where like the frame rotted out or just broke is in the other one.
100-year-old glass panes. Probably made them a lot different back then, huh?
Yeah, let's see if we can. A lot of older glass is sort of technically a liquid, so a lot of old glass will be thicker at the bottom.
Because that's how it hardened, right? Like it kind of went down that
Well,
way.
it kind of like drips down as it ages. It's weird, but you can't really see that on this piece. Which is
Oh, you mean like it hardens and then later on it gets thicker at the bottom?
yeah, just over like the decades, like it kind of.
That makes no sense, but kind of does make sense. Because it is solid, but you're right, it's like...
Well, it's like as they like make it right, they like get it really hot and like melt it and then blow it. So like something about it, I feel like it's still like technically a liquid or like has slightly liquid properties. I don't really know. I could just be like, this is what I heard someone saying, but like for whatever reason, like really like older glass does get thicker at the bottom.
I don't know, but I could easily put like a gallon of milk down here and it wouldn't go sour.
Yeah.
It's so cold.
It's so cold.
You can't feel that.
I mean,
It's like a
keep honest,
bone chilling
makes
cold.
sense. So,
It's like a hauntingly cold.
alright guys.
That's the original coal chute. That's where the coal used to come down.
That's super cool.
Coal chute life. So that fireplace would be above this, right?
Yep.
But they closed that off at some point in the
But
last...
that's why I'm saying maybe that fireplace isn't completely original because that chute's there. And then we have this creepy little,
Where does that go to?
just kind of back to the well. Just keep your head down.
Oh man,
Watch your head turn it because there is a bar under the bar.
this is freaky. Oh, it's just that.
Yeah, it's just like well shit, but isn't that crazy?
And like whatever was put here is like metal and cement.
Dude, I always kind of wondered if this place was a stop on the Underground Railroad, if they used to hide people under there.
No, for real though.
I thought that too.
But
When you were saying like that there's a couple like 50 years where no one knows what was going on here.
yeah,
It could easily have been.
yeah.
Or like a...
And that would have been right at that time, too. It's kind of weird, like, you know, even in the local history books, this place just doesn't really come up.
A lot of times in like the newer plaster they use asbestos, but back in the day you can see the strands of horsehair.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Super, super cool.
Sick.
So we get this other building under control.
Let's get this other building under control. There's a world of, like, crazy technology and office equipment waiting in there for our viewers' pleasure.
Let's see this.
Yeah.
And some other legends, right? Like your dad.
Major legends.
Is he up in the head honcho office right now?
That, or he might be trashing shit out. He likes to be hands-on with some of these projects.
I should shut this though.
I got it. kind of crazy having 18-wheelers back up this driveway, like curving around the house. But we get in here. We'll get like 53-footers with the sleeper cab, bringing books in from like
But this
overseas.
is like good size for the loading dock right here.
Yeah, good enough. We just reinforced it a little bit. And in here, actually, this is something we wouldn't be able to completely get rid of until we're closed. But this dock plate is aluminum.
Yeah.
And if somebody were to want this, like I said, we won't be able to part with it till we're cleared out, but then we won't need it. And that definitely has some value, not only like as a tool, but even as scrap. But why would you scrap this thing when you can use it to...
No, it's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And highly usable.
Yep.
For pallet life.
Yeah. So that's pallet life. I think ultimately the same thing awaits the fate with that pallet jack there.
That's something I might buy off of you.
Yeah, cool.
So when you're totally done,
When we're totally done,
tell
that's
me what you
definitely,
want, and then
that's definitely got to go.
because I need one of those soon,
Yep.
even just for my garage at the very least.
Well, we have pallets too, but they're a little easier to get. This room,
How cool is this though? That's a
Yeah.
keeper though, huh?
I think so. We broke that off, like actually using it, which is too bad. I guess we'll have to get it fixed, but I kind of want to keep that.
I would put that one up.
Yeah. And this was basically really the heart of like where all the new books that we would wholesale were stored. And these rows of shelves used to come all the way down to here. So these 4 rows. It's kind of 5 rows because there are half rows on the edge. Came all the way across, and there were just books everywhere in here. But a lot of that's now gone. We just shipped 7 pallets out on Monday. No, those all went back overseas
How do you organize
because
those?
we're closing, so we don't sell anything more to Amazon anymore.
Okay.
So we're just clearing it out.
Like, are they in like
Alphabetical.
Oh wow.
Alphabetical by author last name, and then alphabetical by title.
Where's the case?
How's this?
Case are right here.
Here, turn around. This was just on your hat. Wait till you see this.
Stop! Stop!
What is that even?
That came from the attic.
That's a mouse nest. I'll throw that outside. The peak, like, say like last year at this time, how many books do you think were in the building?
Oh, I've no, tens of thousands.
Maybe even 100,000.
Probably
Not that many.
but a lot. Yeah. And actually thinking of, we have 5 of these carts.
That one is cool, but the other ones are even cooler, I think.
The older style one.
Yeah, I might need to take this off of here. So these
Somebody took my book.
these are the cool carts in my eyes. Well, this one's cool too, but I think these ones are better.
So we have 3 of these ones and 2 of those
They're going to be up for sale.
up for sale. This is up for sale too, this cart.
Not
Yeah.
bad. This one's nice.
And the shelving.
The shelving too. Someone's going to want that.
Yeah, we have, once it's all cleared out, I think we have about 50 of these steel racks.
And they're pretty darn sturdy.
Yeah.
I mean, they're holding 700 bucks each.
Yeah. Yep. So there's these 10 here. There's a few more down there. So some of these are more or less ready to go, but we're gonna have more cleared out. And then there's like wooden shelving upstairs. There's more shelving. Something else like this wouldn't really be until the clear out's finished. But like all these packing, like all these boxes
Yeah.
and stuff can probably go. We might want to keep these envelopes for like the Amazon stuff.
I would
was
keep
talking
those
about.
for sure.
But definitely the like boxes. This is a shrink wrapping machine.
That's nice.
I think we're still gonna want that for a little bit.
This is the They Live thing, huh?
Oh, isn't that great?
Who put that there?
That was Steve.
That's
The guy
pretty
that
cool.
Used to work down here.
I like that.
Obey. Pack. This room.
This is cool even.
Super cool.
Oh yeah, actually that's definitely can go.
For sale.
We used to keep dust jackets in here, and
Dwyer Island.
it goes
Home.
really far back. That was just the name of the dust jacket we used to keep in there. I guess the whole thing needs some paint, but this is so that's like 25 inches from here to the back.
How it's like how deep is it like that for someone's specific needs? Like 1 3/4, right?
Well, going up
two,
to this
two, like
over
2.
here. Yeah, about 2 inches, and then
That's a pretty nice piece.
that's 18 to here, and then bringing that back out. It's not a great measurement, but that's 25. I got that twice. That's pretty close.
That's a pretty cool piece there, though,
Yeah.
for a specific need that someone might have.
Yep.
Some bubble wrap. There's another cart. What's in this dungeon? Nothing.
Well, that was the dark room.
Originally.
So all that equipment that we were looking at in the house used to be in here. This all used to be like trays on this table, and you can see the red light that you would use for processing stuff. And there's even still some photographic stuff in here. Kind of cramped, huh?
A little small, but that's what I guess you only needed a little bit of room, right?
Yeah, well, that shelf and all that stuff wasn't in here either. Yeah, so this is just more poly contrast filter kit. Maybe I'll use 2 hands to do this. Okay, yeah, so these are different filters I guess you would have used developing or putting different colors on the film that you were developing. You know, we have the purple. Are these all different shades of the same color? Is that how they did this, where that's like the darkest?
Yeah, it looks like it, right?
And that's, yeah, it does look like that.
1 to 4. Even half sizes in between.
Yeah. Brownie darkroom lamp kit. So yeah, it's just more photographic stuff. It's just part of that whole lot. So we have, let's see, there's 13 here. There are probably another 10 or something upstairs. So we have all these racks. Sam Hugan is an actor on a show called Outlander.
Okay. I've heard of it.
So he posted on like his Instagram about this book, and we got an order from from Amazon for like hundreds of copies, and we're like, why is Amazon like ordering all of these? And none of us watched Outlander, so we figured out like who this guy was, and we got in touch with his agent basically to like ask him to do like plug the book once more. So he did on Twitter, and we told Amazon this, and Amazon ordered like a bunch of copies, but then, you know, we got a few of them back, and so they were all wrapped up and ready to go. But pretty crazy marketing strategy to be able to like hit this guy.
And he's just the forward. He didn't write the book.
He didn't write the book, just the forward, but he was friends with the guy who wrote the book. So we were like, yo, could you put this on your social media a little bit for
And
us?
then like, bam, sold.
Yeah, not as many as you would think, but a few. Let's do it in the headquarters office, though, huh?
All right, we'll do it in the corner.
You
office.
cleaned it up so nicely.
Well, no, there's more junk in there now from the attic.
Oh, there's junk everywhere. Some of it's some gold, though.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, when we're done, we'll get into this stuff, which is covered up. But we have some machines.
Are we getting to the head honcho guy now?
Yeah, let's go in.
Okay.
Let's get another chair in here too, huh?
Maybe you should be the interviewer guy.
I'm the interviewer.
I'm not. I don't know what questions
okay.
they ask.
All right. So when was Dufour Editions founded?
It started off in 1949. Paul Dufour opened a bookstore in Center City, Philadelphia. Actually, I think it might have been on the University of Pennsylvania campus. I don't think it was Center City, but the UPenn campus. He had a bookstore down there at a couple of different locations, and it attracted a very eclectic clientele. He got a write-up in the Philadelphia Inquirer magazine, and he had a lot of books that weren't available any other places. At one point, the bookstore supposedly was next door to a tavern, and there was a spot in the wall where you could take a brick out and reach through and order a drink from the bar on the other side of the brick wall. And supposedly, one time, I think it was Tennessee Williams was in there and thought that this was just the nicest feature to have in a bookstore, where you could order a drink through a hole in the wall from the bar next door. And then it moved out to Chester County, Pennsylvania, I think about 1959 or so, something like that. And it was in a couple of different locations in Chester County from 58 or 59 for a while. So that's when it started. Well, it started off as a bookstore, and then the retail division closed when it moved out to Chester County. And Paul had started publishing and co-publishing in 1953 with British and Irish publishers. So there were a couple of things that drove it. First off, in the 60s, there was a lot of money being made available to libraries to ramp up their collections. And also, this was a time when ordering anything from overseas was still quite an exotic process, something that not many Americans could even fathom. So the fact of going overseas, ordering products, bringing them in through the docks and so on, paying in foreign currencies and so on, was something that not too many people were comfortable doing back then.
And so this company made it much easier for people to find those books because we...
Yes. Yeah. And for a while we would be sort of the buffer between business practice, American business practices, and British and Irish business practices. We'd be the buffer absorbing the difference between the way people do business in those different countries.
Which is, to this day, somewhat different.
To this day, it is somewhat different.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there have been a lot of changes. One was the tendency away from printed materials, tree books, and more things being available online. That was one change. Another change was just a general decline in literacy, especially in America. People don't read as much as they used to. They don't buy books as much as they used to. And third, we see a decline in interest in material, in curated material. This was one of the great changes that the internet brought about. Was no longer are people looking for editors or gatekeepers, people who will read through piles of thousands of manuscripts and pull out the 1 or 2 or 5 or 10 that are that are actually worthy of somebody's time. So we see a lot more, there's a lot more available out there, but the quality and the quantity are down, really.
Problem with going and shopping for self-published books and shopping on Amazon is you have no idea if this book's going to be good or not.
Right.
Because anyone
Right.
could have written it,
Right.
self-published it, and had their friends write the reviews.
Yes. And the time was, if it had the imprint of a known publisher on it, people would see that, and that was the brand, and they'd say, "Oh well, so and so published this. Maybe I'll spend $3 buying the hardback."
Yeah. Yeah. Down. Obviously, part of it is that I don't want to keep things running, and the income streams have dried up, and
Yes.
you're ready to retire.
Yes.
Which are all factors in why this
Yes.
isn't continuing. But what
Correct.
precipitated? What are sort of the market factors that led to this, and what's driving that, and how did that happen?
Well, book publishing was always really economically marginal. People would work long hours for not a whole lot of money, but there were other rewards in it. But the developments in the last couple of decades have really made it economically impractical. It's just not feasible anymore to make a go of it. At least as a medium-sized publisher, it's not practical anymore. And we see this happening all over the marketplace. Bookstores are going out of business. Book wholesalers are going out of business. Bookstore chains are going out of business. Printers are going out of business. Paper mills are shutting down. The whole industry really is contracting. Newspapers are going out of business. Magazines are going out of business. So the economic viability that was at one point possibly marginal simply isn't there anymore. But the ability to read and comprehend and analyze the complex system and to express yourself verbally is something that's important in any variety of undertakings.
The margins are quite thin, but I think you do find some of the most interesting people. Let's hear some anecdotes.
Well, publishing is one of those areas where most people, or I should say many people, fell into it by accident.
Okay.
I mean, there are publishing courses out there, but they're relatively new. They're probably more prevalent in Britain, but there are some here in the States. There are people who will choose to go into it as an occupation. But back in the day, I think most people just sort of fell into it by accident. And it does attract some interesting people. Yeah, I've met a lot of interesting people. There are, and there's a lot of variety in it. You might at one point be schlepping books around or driving a forklift, or you might be proofreading something, or you might be going to an embassy party with ambassadors and well-known authors. So there's a whole variety. There's a whole variety involved in it.
Yep.
One thing I was taught early on was when the press is there taking a photograph, don't let them catch you with a drink in your hand.
Hold it behind your
Hold
back.
it behind your back.
Yep.
Otherwise you look like a lush.
Yep.
That's good.
Yeah.
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 That's awesome.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you.
That was
Thanks.
really, really good.
I appreciate that.
Oh, sure thing.
Thanks.
Sure thing. Yeah. 38 sets of wooden shelves.
38 sets of wooden shelves.
Yeah.
How many of the two-drawer cabinets?
2-drawer filing cabinets, 21.
And of the four, there were 15, I think?
15 of the 4-drawer filing cabinets.
What else is on there?
Oh, the metal shelves, 1 by 3 by 6, 7 feet, something like that. We have 64 of them. We have the MyLink safe 8XD. We have the we have the AccuFast XL labeling machine.
We'll have to do a demonstration of that one.
Right. Yeah. Desks, chairs, shipping supplies, all kinds of things left over.
Cool. Yeah, we probably should get some of it on the market.
I
We'll
would.
do the video first.
I would get it up there. Because, like, this safe. So here's the
Our
safe.
age.
Yes, when I was
Yeah.
your age.
It's a solid safe. He brought it up here himself.
On
That's
wheels.
this is a little bit
I just
insane.
lashed it to took the door off, and that made it a little bit lighter. And lashed it to a hand truck and just bolted up the steps one step at a time. You need anything else?
So these are the big filing cabinets that he said, right?
I think we're all set. Yeah, those are the big ones.
What other stuff in here is good? What about this? Is that a keeper?
Are we keeping the press?
The what?
The book press?
Yes.
Okay, that's a keeper.
It's
Yeah.
cool.
Paper cutters?
Yeah, we're keeping that. We're keeping these.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's handy in case you want to bind a book by hand.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's probably worth a mint
Yeah.
Well,
to the right
I
person.
priced it. Yeah, I priced it.
It's sort of a unique item. It's a 1954 Herman Miller. So this was one of the first few years that Herman Miller Company was even making shares. It's worth at least $200, I would say.
I would say more.
Yeah, probably more.
That's a Herman Miller dream.
Yeah.
And it's
It has-
metal legs, right?
It has the original legs, and it has this marking on the bottom, which is upside. Maybe
fine.
we'll turn it,
Okay, you can turn it, yeah.
and that
So you
has
can
the
get
date
the-
stamp and all the manufacturing information.
That's a claim.
So, if someone makes a great offer on it, I would be willing to entertain it, but I'm sort of inclined to keep it for myself. And this is a labeling machine. If someone's doing like bulk mailing, we have the paperwork for it. So you can run 15,000 pieces of mail through this in 1 hour.
Yeah, yep.
That's pretty crazy. So we'll just turn it on, show that it works. There's a master power switch on the back. This knob lets you adjust to the thickness of whatever you're running through it, so you can do envelopes or like whatever. You can set the speed of the feed and all these different things. So let's see, we'll just do a quick run. It's gonna run. I think it's gonna go.
So it can go fast.
Yeah. Let's see. Here, we'll put it up to 10.
Done deal.
Yep.
Quick and easy.
Yep. 15,000 an hour. So if anyone's in the bulk mail game, this might be the machine for them. And new, they cost about $4,000.
Yes.
So we'd be looking for maybe about $1,000 for this machine. I don't know if people still use these.
Is it a reel-to-reel thing?
Yeah, so before like Dropbox or anything, if you wanted to transfer a large amount of data to someone, you would use this magnetic tape, and you would plug this machine into a computer. We have even one of the cards for doing that. bunch of the original paperwork that describes how to use it, quick reference command summary, technical reference manual, introduction to tape formats, the user's guide. So we have all this sort of stuff that explains how it works. Though I would imagine most people who are in the market for one of these already know how they work and need one. And we have a bunch of tapes for it too. So,
Yeah, put it down there.
does this pop up?
Yeah.
Is this backwards?
Nope. Close that.
So you close them?
Right. Oh wait, I think it is
I
backwards.
think it is backwards.
Yeah. Yeah. You put it on backwards. No, it's stuck. There we go. Alright. This is what used to be used pre-internet for transferring large amounts of data. And the nice thing was anybody in the world could read it. Alright.
Let's make sure it's plugged in.
That's about all it does for
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. And in this process, you can read or write onto the tape.
If you, well, you have to hook it up to your computer. This is the card for it. And, oh yeah, you could read and write data, and we have the books here for it, the manuals and so on, but it really is obsolete.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would only be a gimmick or a prop or something like that. You know, no, I don't think anybody actually still uses these anymore.
Maybe the government.
No, you know, even the FBI has moved on to more sophisticated technology. It took them a long time, but you know, I don't think anybody uses it.
Yeah.
Typewriters. Royal typewriter. Smith Corona. 2 guys.
And ribbons, and these are kind of neat. The way these would work, you'd hit the key, and then it would actually, like, at least on newer typewriters, I think it would actually, like, turn this, so it would find the letter that you want and put it to the paper.
I've seen that before, actually, yeah.
But I think these 2 typewriters are older than that. Okay. These... Oh yeah.
What are they? Are you alright?
Oh, you're back. You're good?
No, the dust just bothers me.
It's
And
fine.
he swept up here, so it's all.
You can go out
It's
into the
just
car.
cold over there, so.
It's really dusty in here, yeah. These are racks. Actually, I don't know if you would be interested in these for like flea market. It's upside down. Here, this is how they work. So they fold out.
And you just put some claims on there.
Yeah,
Books.
it used to be books,
Yeah.
but DVDs, anything really. So there are 3 of these.
This might be valuable to someone unless you're taking these.
Oh no, everything in here is like, yeah. Oh, those are vacuum tubes.
Yeah, because look, the list is right here too.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
And people love these things.
Yeah.
Someone might jump on that though. See, that's something I would put on Facebook Marketplace
Yeah.
with the list too next to it. Do you know what I
Yep.
mean? What is this?
Well, this is also an easy thing. I think they're kind of easy to ship, right? Or are they too delicate?
I mean, you could ship them, but I would just try and sell them as a
Yeah.
lot to someone local.
Yeah.
Because you know there's some radio people around here.
Yeah.
But how's this?
That's an oscilloscope.
Which does?
I don't know.
Me
We'll
neither.
have to look it up, but it works.
Oscilloscope.
Yeah. There's a laboratory instrument used to display and analyze the waveform of electronic signals. So,
It's pretty gnarly.
yeah. We have I guess you're black and red, like a battery, kind of, right? You're positive and negative. You would plug in those to the inputs. There was an so it has its indicator light.
There it goes.
There it goes.
Wasilla. Scopo.
I don't know. Ew.
Fox skull.
I mean, this I can just send you out of here if you're interested in any of this.
These are for sale.
Yeah, these would be for sale, yeah.
2 phones, house phones, old,
Yep.
legit ones.
Rotary.
Bell.
Yeah, they're both Bell. As far as like stuff that we're gonna be selling or junking or whatever.
That's the tour.
That's pretty much the tour. Yeah. There's
If people are actually interested, how do you want to get in touch with you?
let's have them email me, and I should probably like print this out so I can
Like
just show
write it down and then show it, right?
So people
I can put it in the description, but
if you're interested in any of this stuff, you wanna make an offer. If you have any questions, you can email me here or contact Tucker, and we would be happy to discuss.
and I'll put that in the description as well for you guys.
Yeah.
Should we get some drone shots?
Yeah.
Or if it's,
And we should figure out, like, I don't know, anything that actually does sell from this, like, I don't know, 20%, 25%.
all right, we're out of here.
It's good on film.
Yeah.
Thanks for all the
Cool, man.
knowledge.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by and filming. I'm happy to get this stuff out there, show some of this stuff off one last time, maybe sell a little bit. Who knows?
Let's see this stuff that he blessed us with. These 2 painting
Puerto Rico. And
Paintings.
then what's the other one?
or prints, and then just some goodies for the flea market. But if anyone wants to reach out, you guys know the email. So see you in the next one.
Yeah, cheers for the dream.
You.
Woo! Oh, it's bright.
Perfect.
What's the claim?
I said that was perfect.
All right, we're out of here.
We're
Yeah.
out of here.